Okay, so what I am doing here is I've decided to yap and blabber on about some things that may be like quote unquote uncomfortable topics, if you will, um, while playing the current Epic Games free game. This is Offworld Trading Company as the game. I've luckily had a chance to play it by screwing up a recording earlier, so I get to do everything all over again, which is incredibly exciting, and get this game here. Um, and then, as I said, the topics that I'm talking about, that is uncomfortable topics. This is kind of in the realm of, and by kind of, I mean definitely in the realm of politics, in that sense, things that people aren't talking about. When it gets to politics, people talk about how they're a Democrat or how they're a Republican, not actual topics. So I'm going to talk about those and do all that stuff. Hopefully nobody sends me any death threats, because that seems to be the default reaction now whenever somebody says anything that could potentially go against what you believe in. Um, Anyway, this is kind of seems the default setups. I just changed the map size to large, and then the map. See, I don't know if I set that or not. Let's make it 58. AI players 5. I think I bumped that up by 2. See how it goes. So the name of the game in this game is to kind of get these resources, build these things, and buy out the other companies or prevent the other companies from buying you out. I'm not that good at it. I'm gonna be honest, I'm pretty bad at it. But hey, we'll give it a go. We'll give it a try. So what I'm initially gonna do right here, I'm just gonna choose who I like. I like these little robotic people. They're fun. They sell power, or they run off of power, and power is pretty easy in this quote unquote early game. And Uh, okay, I can't make that on hills. I wanted to put that, well, here, let's put it, can I just scan a lot of rocky stuff? So I think this is my colony. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it is. Um, let's scan out this way, and
Ooh, a geothermal vent.
ooh,
This
geothermal
will
vent.
be useful.
That's what I want. Let's just build this here and see how everything goes. All right, so my topic on here, so I've got these. Now I've got my little headquarters, if you will.
An
Everything is,
expansive HQ scientific
I'd like to
HQ has
pause.
been founded.
This is just going to keep going on and on about announcing that kind of stuff. I want to build my little resource gatherer stuff. I would like a geothermal plant right on top of that. Actually, I'm going to claim that tile right now. So you can claim that tile without building anything on it. And then I am going to pull in a wind here. I'm going to do the wind here just because these kind of blue things show you it's all hunky-dory, good energy generation there. And when things connect, they get bonuses. So I'll put a wind there. I don't have a solar panel. Can I go into debt? Nope. And then what else? You can see here what you need to upgrade. I need electronics, steel, and aluminum. I am going to, I'll need a steel mill, but let's get aluminum. I don't think this is aluminum, right? Yup. Let's get that aluminum right there. Again, same thing, more resources, put it by its buddies so you get a positive benefit. And it said steel, I have steel at the moment, or some steel, but a steel mill needs power and iron. So let's get iron as well. Got 3. You can kind of see it, so this is going to sap some power. I don't know why I'm pointing at it and doing that. Give me 2.1 iron. It's going to suck out 0.13 power. But I'll put that there and then get this going. My people are going to start building that guy up.
A
And what I'm
scientific
getting
HQ
at,
has been founded.
oh, scientific HQ, yippity doo. What I am getting at is political polarization. It's kind of the what I'm going to blab about today. Fill a bunch of hot air with all of that. You can see my progress here.
A scavenger HQ has been founded.
Okay, that's fine. You do you.
A scavenger HQ has been founded.
Okay, she's gonna talk at you a lot. Um, but what is political polarization in this? This is kind of the driving apart of kind of two different ideas or two different groups, people with different ideas, viewpoints, what have you. That sums all the way up. That goes all the way from um, different political parties, Democrats, Republicans, all the way to like people within the same party. It's how the
An
hardcore
expansive
Republicans, like
HQ has
the
been upgraded.
Trumpists and the never Trumpers, the kind of more socialist progressives versus the more moderate Democrats, they battle each other seemingly sometimes more
A
than they
scientific
try to
HQ
move
has been
ahead,
upgraded.
make improvements over the other party. But that's what it is. Um,
The black market
what's
is
kind of
online.
A scavenger
caused
HQ has been
this?
upgraded.
Okay, people are upgrading. I'm gonna upgrade. I'm gonna put a geothermal plant in there
A
and
scientific HQ
get
has been
that
a
in
scavenger
there. I
HQ has
can't
been
upgrade yet,
upgraded.
but once I get 3.6 thousand, I can. It's probably a terrible idea to do that geothermal. All right, whatever. It's too late now. Um, what kind of causes this political polarization? This polarization, I think, mainly kind of comes from, you hear the word echo chamber a lot, but it's kind of this echo chamber that is perpetuated by these algorithms, um, YouTube algorithms, Facebook, Instagram, Google News, Google Search, all of this stuff. It's designed to, all of it is ad funded, meaning that the more you interact with it, the more money it gets. Yay, first geothermal plant. The more money they get, so on and so forth. So they feed you what you are most likely to interact with, so they can sell ads on that, and that's great. That gets us relevant content that we're interested in. But the downside of that is it only kind of feeds into our own viewpoints when it comes into content like that. My Google News stories are only going to be about things that this algorithm thinks that I am interested in or
A
want to
new
read
claim is
about.
available for option.
Should I put the money in? I'm not going to put the money in for the extra claim. I've done that before and I just went into a lot of debt. So, can we keep going? I don't want to bid. Everything kind of pauses while they bid for it. I'm not going to bid. But that's what these algorithms do. They're providing you the content, but when it comes to things like news, then it starts slowly and almost imperceptibly driving you um, to only news sources that align with your viewpoints, which gets you further and further and further and deeper in. Same thing they uh, happens with people who subscribe to conspiracy theories. There's going to be one thing that
Sold.
seems somewhat plausible, I guess. Um, and then they're going to kind of dive into that even further. And I'm going to build another geothermal vent. Yes. Yes. Um, since I use power and I can sell power. And now I'm going to build a steel mill because I need it. I'm going to try to build it in close to here so I don't use so much resources getting, um, in transportation. But as I was getting at with those algorithms, they're driving people. There's an idea that, hey, maybe I
An
agree with
expansive
this.
HQ has
And then
been
it
upgraded.
turns into a
Scientific
point
HQ has been
where
upgraded.
I'm going to pause this and go for the next one. Turns into a point where you start clicking on even more and more and more extreme things, and without even noticing it, you've kind of fully subscribed to this conspiracy theory, something that earlier you never would have thought possible. Um, so back into the game, I want to build some electronics. See here, I've got steel, I've got aluminum. I want electronics. So along here, I should have an electronics factory. I'll put that in there. And what the electronics factory needs is silicon, carbon, and aluminum. Silicon and carbon come from these elemental quarries. So here's a carbon. These kind of lines show you where it is. I think these are all just kind of single deposits, right? I'll go there. That's close enough. Maybe I can get another one in there. And then I am actually going to deconstruct my wind turbine. This is probably a bad idea. Just scrap it. Get rid of the claim. How close am I to? Yeah, gonna do that so I can get some silicon. It's probably a bad idea, but hey, whatever. It is what it is, right? How do I unclaim? Oh, shoot. I thought I could unclaim. All right, well, I guess I can't. So I just wasted a bunch of resources. Oh well. So we'll get that. I'll just get some money. Here you can see you can sell some things. I can sell a lot of my iron, so I'm gonna get rid of that. It's not good prices, but I've got plenty of it, right?
A scavenger
Whoops.
HQ has been upgraded.
See, I held down shift on that, I think, and I sold everything. Anyway, so what I'm getting at, what are you talking about? With these kind of echo chambers, with these algorithms feeding you that information, it's one of the big cause. Another cause is this kind of 24-hour news cycle. I'm just going to briefly touch on that. This 24-hour news cycle is kind of blurring the lines between news and entertainment. And what's very important, what gets these news agencies their money, CNN, Fox News, any and all of them. Upgrade, yes. So now I'm gonna get some silicone. That's good. So now I can start building everything that I need. Hopefully, we'll see once everything's built and if I'm in net positives, as you can see along here. I've got minus 0.25 silicon, but that should be good. And now I want to do a patent lab. You can see here that I could get patents on some things. That'll come into view later. These 24-hour news cycles, what these things are doing is they need to keep their viewers. That's how they get their ad money, and that's fine. Everybody needs to make a living. But they found that the easiest way to get viewers is to piss the viewer off. An angry viewer is one who keeps coming back and one who sticks around. So that is very, very, very important for these 24-hour news.
A scavenger HQ has been
24-hour news
upgraded. A
channels.
scientific HQ
They
has
want to
been
blur that
upgraded.
line in the.
Available for auction.
I don't want a tile. No, I don't. But what I'm going to do is build this, because I've never built one of these before, and apparently I think it gives you money. So I'm going to waste a tile on that. So what these things, this 24-hour news cycle, they want their viewers, they want to make their money, so they blur that line. You've got some very, very good reporters at CNN and
Congratulations.
Fox News
The patent lab is
actually
constructed.
reporting the
Let's get our
actual
science
news,
on.
but then they're
A
sandwiched
scientific HQ
between
has been
these
upgraded.
entertainment people who interpret the news in their own way without making that clear for the viewer. So the viewer thinks that the viewer can't differentiate that clearly because it's tough in that moment. So it's set up to piss off their viewer because the viewer keeps coming back and watching and interacting more for more money. So that's kind of these causes here. Oh yeah, bot shares in themselves.
The pleasure
I'm
dome
gonna
is completed.
start to
I
do that
wonder
too, so
what
people
goes
can't
on in
buy me
there.
out easily. But I'm not making a lot of money, am I? Yeah, we can do that. But then I can go along here and check out some other things. I think these are the patents. Yes, these are the patents here. I'm gonna pause this, and then I'm gonna just kind of read through these, figure out which one I want. They're all available. Spectacular. And they cost science, which I don't have. Maybe I should start, or chemicals. Maybe I should start doing that. Pause this, back to second. Right. I think I've decided to go teleportation. It's a big one there. Teleport resources. That's going to cut my energy usage. I was really close to this geothermal borehole. bowl borehole. Nailed it. Um, Again, it's half the price. Spectacular and quicker to get. And I have the two geothermal plants, but I think that might help me with the teleportation. I don't know, but we'll see. Let's see how it goes. We're researching. Maybe I can get another one too. You never know. Anyway, what I was getting at with these news, we've got some causes. There's a million causes. It's not a simple. Um, it's not as simple as that is. There's a million causes to this polarization, but I think those are two kind of big modern drivers of it. Let's get this going. Two big major drivers. Like I'm gonna just come out. What slowdown strike? Well, I've never seen that before. Um, so what this kind of let's do like modern full on wade into the controversy. Donald Trump legitimately won the 2016 election. Donald Trump
A
was
scavenger
destroyed.
HQ has been upgraded.
I don't know what's going on. I've never seen this. Oh, it's frozen for 15 to 14. Oh, man, that sucks. Donald Trump legitimately won 2016, and Donald Trump legitimately lost 2020. It sucks
An
when your person
expansive
loses.
HQ has
It's
been
great when your
upgraded.
person wins, but it happens every 4 years. There's nothing shady. I mean, yeah, there was some, there was some new voting regulations in place, especially with COVID, and I can see how when you don't understand those and when people feeding you information about them aren't profiting off of your misunderstanding on it, I can see how that can kind of be scary to get and understand. But there
A
were
fully
checks
refurbished Mule
and
is ready to lend its aid
there
to the
were
highest bidder.
security things in place. Um, I know it looks shady, for example, when, they're putting up paper to block windows at the where they're counting the ballots, but there are people hired by both political parties, by both candidates, actually, who are actually in that room. Like, yeah, it looks shady when they're putting the paper up, but they put the paper up because people are pounding on the windows. Like imagine you trying to do your job and somebody's pounding on the window. You're going to want to put that paper up. But there were, and what it was not said,
Sold.
because people kind of want to perpetuate that anger, but what's not said is that people from both candidates were in that room watching the counting. Um, so yeah, I'm gonna buy some shares of myself here. I'm not making money, but well, we'll see. Um, I'm gonna get a little bit more carbon. I think I'm not. Oh, I need. Yeah, this is carbon. That's that bonus I mentioned about. And 2016, yeah, it's, there were some very inexperienced people in the Donald Trump campaign in 2016. Many of them were barely out of college, let alone with experience running a national presidential political campaign. So yeah, obviously there's some people they didn't know what to do, and yes, that came out as what happened to my
A
Pat
scientific
lab.
HQ has been upgraded.
Oh no, didn't see that. All right, well, whatever. Um, we'll fix it next time. um, so yeah, there was people they didn't know what to do, and did some of them potentially get taken advantage by some ne'er do wells in the international community? Yeah, that's possible, but there was no from the top order from Donald Trump to work with the Russians on things. Like, sorry. Um,
An expansive
but what I
HQ
was
has
getting
been
at
upgraded.
is weighted into that. What I'm saying is that this
The
hurts
patent lab is ready to begin
us.
research.
Can I still do this? Yes, I'm still researching. Awesome.
Scientific HQ has been upgraded.
You know, it's not this polarization. It's yeah, it's driving all of us apart, and the loser is us individually and us as a whole. So what it's doing, it's forcing politicians. How it, you know, right in the here and now hurts us is it's forcing politicians to become these national spokespeople. You have a representative from Florida going on national tours. You've got a representative from New York, seemingly like blasted across, like this person speaking for everyone. So yeah, it's turning
Let
the
the bidding begin.
energy vault. No, I don't want that. What it's doing is it is kind of forcing them into these national puppets on it just to drum up support on their side and anger the other side. But that's not helping the people that they're elected to represent. Um, so that's how it hurts us in the here and now. It also
Congratulations.
hurts us is that it
HQ has
forces
been
us
upgraded.
deeper and deeper into our own kind of subconscious, deepest, darkest desires. Yes, I have teleportation. So now I get extra. I should have extra energy. Making some money. I'm gonna upgrade 4 tile claims. I'm gonna give this a pause, just figure out what I'm doing here. I would like more steel. Yes. Another steel mill, please. 0.75 bonus. That's good. Another steel mill, and I'm gonna do another electronics factory. Yeah, and I'm gonna sell some of these. Sell 100. 1, 2, 300. 200. I hardly have any steel, but I have good iron. So that's good. Let's just get rid of a bunch of iron. Hardly anything there. I've locked out that. I can buy shares in another company. I want to buy someone out, so I'm just gonna save up some money. I'm gonna try to do that. Shh, don't tell. But what I was getting at there is, you know, it forces us deeper and deeper into it, and it makes it a lot harder to kind of come into the reality on that. Like I said, things that would anger both sides of the aisle, and they're both ingrained sides of the aisle on that. But that's what we need to do. Like it's tough to admit that your person lost, as I mentioned earlier. That is incredibly tough to do, and it kind of goes against the kind of innate human nature of things. You know, you want your team, you want your side to win, but it doesn't help us when all we're doing is grinding to a halt on the other side's strategy and then spending all of our time unraveling what the other side did when they were in power. What we need to be able to do is say, like, hey, you guys have some good ideas, like, you know, progressives. Yes, I agree. We should have some robust systems in place to help people who are maybe down on their luck, but let's pump the brakes a little bit. Let's not spend money all willy-nilly. I'm gonna get some more iron. Let's not spend money all willy-nilly. Let's be smart about it. Um, and spend money strategically so we can get the most good from the dollars spent. You know, it's not gonna help us to go just make it rain all over the place if nobody's actually getting the help that's needed. So that's how we move forward as a country. Let's pause this. Prices are going up. I'm gonna see what money I can get. Oh shoot, that was probably a mistake because I need electronics to upgrade. Whoops. What do we got here? 318K, 378, 260. I'm getting so close. Shift click to buy out. Yeah, we'll see what I can do. We'll see what I can do. This green player has always bought me out when I played before. Um, let's sell some of that. Let's sell, whoopsies. Let's sell some of that. Money, 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 and keep playing. You know, as I said, you know, it's not helpful to be constantly swinging from one extreme to the other extreme, but that's what we are kind of forcing ourselves into, going from extreme right to extreme left to extreme right to extreme left, instead of saying, yeah, you know what, there's some good ideas here, there's some good ideas here, let's join those good ideas together, preferably. I think I'm going to lose my chance to buy somebody, darn it. Oh well, doesn't matter. Ooh, I want an off-world market. Yes. Okay. Off-world market. I've never done that before, but I think you can sell things for like a lot of money if you do that. So I'm doing that. Um, but if we have to kind of go against that
New building
innate
is available for
human
auction.
desire to just go into our own little segment and see the good ideas that the other side has, because the other side has good ideas. Um, because I think what that if we fail to do that, I don't
Sold.
see a I don't see a left and a right here. I'm gonna pause the game here. Um, pausing is right there. I don't see a left and a right in on the political spectrum. I was always taught that there's a political spectrum, and you've got the communists, Stalin on the far left, and you've got Hitler and fascists on the far right, and everybody else is somewhere in between. I don't see it that way. I drew this stupid little picture. There it is. It's on the wrong screen. There it is. um, so what that? Ooh, if I zoom in too much, um, this little picture on here. This is kind of how I see it. You've got your left, your far progressives. You got your right, your social and fiscal conservatives for here. But there's that same, you're kind of saying, my opponents have some solid ideas, but I think X is the best way forward, and versus I think Y is the best way forward. Then you get down into this danger zone where if you people have started to fall into the trap of polarization, kind of start talking like that. My opponents are on the left, they're saying my opponents are idiot racists who hate America. And on the right, they're saying my opponents are commie idiots who hate America. It's the easiest thing to say, oh, this person hates America. Um, they don't hate America. That's just a simple cop out. It's a simple answer, and these simple answers are hurting us in that the people who are benefiting off of this, the people who are making money off of it, there are corrupt politicians on the left and the right who are benefiting off of this. They get that name recognition, they get the money, they get the sponsorships, or not the sponsorships, but the donations and the power. There are people who like that and will do anything to keep that. And then there are also politicians, both on the left and the right, who want to do what is best for the country. Um, those who want to do what's best for the country, those are the ones who aren't talking about how their opponents hate America and are a bunch of commies, or how their opponents are a bunch of racists who hate America. Being a Republican does not make you a racist. Voting for Donald Trump does not make you a racist. Voting for being a Democrat, voting for Joe Biden doesn't make you a communist. Voting for Bernie Sanders or supporting Bernie Sanders does not make you a communist. Um, it's your ideas. There's ideas that every side has had that has been good. There have been ideas that every side has had that has been very bad. Uh, but that's why there's another side to kind of fight those bad ideas, but let the good ideas move forward, or let the plans move forward while trimming out some of the bad ideas. Um, so that's kind of the traditional political spectrum. But then down here, anyone and everyone who disagrees with everything, I think, should be subject to violence. That's at that bottom. This is where you have your Stalin and your Hitler. I don't see them as diametrically opposed political opponents. They're the same. They're corrupt people who morally corrupt every type of corrupt people who utilized people's worst instincts and worst kind of animalistic drives to gain and keep power and to perpetuate violence. Those are not good people. They don't belong on any sort of political spectrum because they don't care about politics. Um, Kind of the people who want to watch the world burn. Um, but I think by falling into that polarization, it kind of pulls you down this circle. It does. I don't care where you are. I don't care if you're hardcore environmentalist, um, supporting strong social programs. I don't care if you are a rural, strong, states' rights, um, Republican. That's fine. You have your ideas. Everybody, there's hundreds of millions of us in this country. There's billions of us around the world. We all have had a different background. We all have a slightly different way of looking at everything that is out there. So take how this person sees something, take how this person sees it, and you can build a path forward. You're still above this kind of, let's call this zero. You're still above zero wherever you are on here. But you start to fall below zero, you fall into the negatives when you fall down here, when you get dragged into that base human nature type thing. Um, so that's what this polarization thing, what it is. I'm sorry, I can see that I've gone for 31 minutes and 32 seconds. I apologize for that. That's a lot more blabbering than I thought. And instead, I recorded this once before, and it was less than that. So I apologize for that blabbering. I didn't say half the things I wanted to say, um, but I guess there's going to be more free games for that. So we'll keep this game going here. Just final thoughts on the game. I think it's incredibly fun. Um, these skirmishes that I'm doing, that's all I've done so far. I usually, um, I guess I've paused it a couple times, but usually about 30 minutes in, I've lost. I'm out. Um, so this is whole new territory for myself. I've lost my. Is this me? No, this is me. Right? Is this me? Yeah, this is me. Um, a very fun game. I highly recommend it. It's free. Get it going. Play it. Play some skirmishes.
Offworld market is assembled.
Hopefully,
Our
you're
fortune
better at
awaits.
it than I am. I think most people are better than I am. Everybody who's seen this, I'm sure, is better than I am as well. Um, but it's a lot of fun. Highly recommend it. Um, I know I'm not solving any issue in the world by kind of shouting into the void about polarization. But what I hope is that it just sparks some kind of thought process. Like I'm not attacking anybody for their political beliefs. I'm not belittling anybody for anything. I just think it is very important to take that objective look. It's very important that we have our political beliefs, our social beliefs, everything. I don't want to deny anyone's identity or anyone's background or anyone's thoughts, feelings, and everything about that. That's not what I'm here uh, blabbering on about. What I'm blabbering on about is that we need, so we don't get sucked into that negative zone that here, I'll keep this going so we can see what happens. Oh, what's going on? Building overloaded. Oh, okay. Yeah, I've never done any of this stuff, but I guess that's this stuff here. Okay. Okay. So people are sabotaging me. That's no bueno. Um, but so yeah, we'll keep that going, and I will buy some more shares just to give a little buffer zone there. I'll buy another one. Um, so that's what I'm saying. I just that objective look to, you know, a treat people with the same respect politically with their ideas as you demand that they treat you. I think that's some really important aspect that we need to focus on. It's so quick to criticize people on the other side of the aisle, but the second that they criticize us, we throw our hands up and say that they're being uncivil. Let's let's be civil, and then let's meet effort with effort from the other side. And also that objective look into it, into what you believe and what you're reading and what you're viewing and what you're seeing. Say, is this person that is saying that to me or sharing that with me, are they benefiting off of me having this belief? Um, is there uh, is this actually the true slant of the story? Let's look at it from the other side. If you're reading
New
MSNBC or
building
viewing
is available for
MSNBC,
auction.
go to Fox News, see how they're approaching something. Um, Instead of just reading a bunch of articles that feed in and perpetuate your thought process, give the other side of view. Just for every 5 articles you read on your side, read 1 article on the other side, just to kind of get that other perspective. Force the brain into that real hardcore critical thinking. That's all I want. And then I thought
Congratulations.
31 minutes 32 seconds was too long, but now 30. Let's just round this up to 36 minutes. Is way too long. I apologize for that. Check out the game, think objectively and critically, and thank you for listening to me blab on, I guess.